Is it 90 million pounds to the Russians? Apparently in like the 50s, Nikita Khrushchev said, you know, if they hadn't sent us all this spam, they might not have been able to feed their troops during World War II. So a little weird canned kind of ham pork product, canned meat, may have won World War II. And the Fed is trending on X. I wasn't sure why, and I'm still not 100% sure why, although part of it is because of this building that they're renovating. They're supposed to be renovating at one of the buildings at the Fed, right? And the other day, Donald Trump came out there with Jerome Powell, and they're talking about how the renovation of the building was kind of a little bit over budget, okay? First of all, the numbers on this are crazy. They wanted $2.something billion to renovate a building at the Fed. $2.1 billion. Well, this is $2.5 billion. But they're over budget by over $1 billion for one building. They're over budget over $1 billion for one building. $1 billion friggin' dollars for one building. This isn't even for building a new building. It's for renovating a building. What the actual F are they doing? If after a night of filling your rectum with vodka from a turkey baster, the cops find you changing a flat in the cereal aisle of a Piggly Wiggly and ask how much you've had to drink, and you say nothing, are you lying? Well, no. Now, if they had been asking, have you been injecting? You'd have to say yes, but they said, have you been drinking? Well, no, absolutely. Yeah, Lord Stanhope, absolutely not. In fact, you all can try to answer these questions. Stand by. The program will begin soon. A WNBA game got stopped in the middle of the game because one of the players lost their wig while they're playing, and they had to run off. And then some fan made fun of the player, and they had to run. And they kicked the fan out for making fun of a player losing the weave. Not a weave, it was a wig. Losing their wig. They had to have a timeout for the wig, a wig emergency. Which I'm like, why the F are you wearing a wig while you're playing basketball? But then yesterday, I believe it was yesterday, a game had to be stopped briefly because someone threw a big old green dildo on the floor. Someone threw a dildo out on the floor, out of the court. They had to stop the game. I don't know if they caught the person who sent the dildo, but the green dildo was on the court, and a large number of the players had no idea what to do with something of that shape, but that's okay. It happened, and then someone made this t-shirt or this meme, pay us what you owe us, which has a dildo on it. So that was fun. Hey, you know what the really good interrupt violence through community-based bystander training? Yeah, if the bystanders beat the fuck out of someone who's attacking somebody else, that would be great bystander training. They could send them to the MMA gym, you know, put them in an arm bar, smack them in the face a few times. Stop doing that bullshit. That would be the best community-based bystander training, but I don't think that's what it means. Anyway. And then the other one, they'll go back all the way to Dylan Roof. Dylan Roof's the other one, which, does anyone, okay, let me ask you something. A lot of you are right-leaning or on the right. Is there anybody in this, that you, anyone you know of? Is there anyone that you know of on the right who supports or supported Dylan Roof? Because I know everyone I can think of who's like, Dylan Roof, fuck that guy. went out and murdered people in a church. Fuck that guy. But the left is like, oh, he was a right-wing extremist. Nah, he's a fucking asshole. Fuck that guy. Yeah, fuck Dylan Roof. Nobody gives a shit about Dylan Roof. Nobody claims him. Nobody wants him. He's an asshole. Okay? He's a little punk bitch asshole who killed a bunch of people in the church. Stand by. The program will begin soon. Reverend Robin Bartlett of First Church of Sterling, Massachusetts, uses John 1:14 of the Bible to justify why she brings her 11-year-old son to drag shows. This is what we're getting in the Rainbow Church. The Rainbow Church aren't exactly hiding. That's true. The Word became flesh and lived among us, and my body, your body, their bodies are home for the living God. That is why I take my 11-year-old boy to drag shows in the summer with my friend and fellow church leaders, Kate, and her 11-year-old boy. Especially if you're a man, bodies can be celebrated and played with. That's her message. What the fuck? California wants to let someone that is not related to your child remove her from school, him or her, enroll her in any other school in the state, authorize any medical treatment, including mental health services and drugs, without the parent's notice and knowledge or consent. Can you see where that might be a problem? This is not fear-mongering. I'm not being hyperbolic, she warned. These are unintended consequences, and it is terrifying. They are unconscionable or unavoidable. So that's one of the really bad California law that they're coming with. I can't believe. I'm just dumbfounded that they're doing it. Now this is interesting. That new mayor candidate, the leading Democratic mayor candidate for New York City mayor, Damme, wants cops to stop responding to attacks on Jews. And by the way, Jews in the New York City are victims of the majority of hate crimes. Not a plurality, but the majority of hate crimes against people in New York are against Jewish people. And you know, especially religious hate crimes. Anyway, 345 hate crimes in New York City last year, more than all other minority groups combined, according to the New York Police Department data. Anti-Jewish crimes accounted for 54% of the 641 total hate crimes reported to police in the city in 2024. Since the beginning of the year, 60% of the 123 recorded hate crimes have targeted Jews, according to the New York Police Department. Well, Zohran Mamdani, the radical Islamist and leftist terrorist supporter, has proposed that New York Police Department not respond to hate crimes, instead that they be handled by social workers. Either this shifts resources away from responding to attacks on Jews and moves away from having law enforcement deal with those attacks, and instead has his political leftist allies deal with them by burying them. Right? Show. If I put something on the screen, or I'm talking about it, or it's a topic or an article that I'm presenting in this show, I provide links to every single thing that I've talked about, and even more, the ones I didn't even get to, I drop them in the chat at the end of the show, and also I drop them in the description. So if you want to find these articles, they will be in the links at the end of the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, It's a brother making his own way, but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, the one and only PDawgKnight.
Oh yeah, get that bass thumb pumping, baby. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. I'm your host, Marty, also known as PDawgKnight on the internet, and welcome back to the Dawg Knight Channel, where, God, people get mad about dumb stuff. Although, I mean, I get it. Cracker Barrel, an American institution. But, you know, some people think that cracker means something to do with white people, and it's not. It just had a theme of an old country store, and now they're making some changes because, you know, everyone makes changes, and apparently people are mad about it. And so, but I mean, the changes are dumb. We're going to talk about it because everyone else is talking about it, but it's dumb. Plenty of dumb edition of the Morning Night Live. Happy Thursday, what's the day? 21st of August, 2025. And let's get this started because I'm late again, whatever. It's a normal thing. But they changed kind of how our work schedule a little bit, so I end up here later every day. It just is what it is. But you know who's not late? Do you know who's not late? Of course, the first in the chat today, Mr. Avocado Diablo gets the bell. I'm going to give you 2 bells, maybe 3, because you're just toying with people. You spelled out morning before anyone else could get here. That's pretty damn good. By the way, share the stream if you haven't done already. And also here, Mike Savage, Blarg, in 18 seconds after AD. Good morning also to the Pope with an inspiring message of peace. Yes, Pope Tyrannius the Blessed Lich III. Blessing of the Sacred Dead, I want you to remember these 3 things. He loves you, he wants you to be happy, and he made you each day just for you. Okay. I'm still kind of, am I being sacrilegious by talking about all this dead shit? Am I? I don't know. Anyway, who else is here? Good morning, Blue-Eyed Scream. Renee Mayette is here. Septus Wolf, what up? Attack Alpaca. My other favorite Canadian, Unacceptable Views. Robert Banks, what up, Banks? JB, Tyler F, and that's kind of it right now, isn't it? That's all I got. That's all I got. Which means that, let me check the numbers here, because that means just people are going to show up later. Why is my mouse not working again? God, this bugs me. Maybe I'll just get a new battery. Is this like is this like smoke detectors? I changed the batteries on my smoke detectors, so I don't have that incessant beep. Anyway, yes, the 16 people here, 9 likes. That's not bad. At least it's over 50%. Hit the damn like button. Tyre says, I follow the doctrine of the Holy Ghost. Oh, everyone wants to be venerable, or wants to venerate the Father and the Son, but not the Holy Ghost. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, gotcha. And I thought that's what it was. I just had to check. That was doing some Satan shit. I didn't expect that. Good morning, Darren Root. What's up? Welcome. Okay, so let's just get right into it because we got a lot. Now, did I bookmark this? Because I'm gonna give you some stupid shit right off the bat. I'm gonna copy and paste this so I have this in the links. Because apparently, well, no, let me tell you. Let's tell the holidays first. Let's do the other stuff first. By the way, thanks to people sharing the stream, which includes, as I look over here at the notifications, Somnambule Nation, of course, beat me to the punch, throwing out that up. So we're gonna repost that. What the hell? Why am work? My mouse is really pissing me off today. I'll try a new battery. Maybe it is the battery. I don't think it is though, because the little red light's not on. If it's the battery, my little red light would be on. So it's something to do with the connection or something. And oh, what is this? With a let's go link in description, aka Somnambule Nation, putting up some here, I'll enlarge that just for the Avocados Diablo crowd. What's with the bunnies here? Okay, I haven't seen those in a long time. That's, I laugh because I worked in a Playboy club back in the day, I was a bartender at a Playboy club, and so I got the girls in the bunny suits. Actually, they were kind of funny because they were all the servers, were the bunnies, and the bartenders behind the bar. We were in a white shirt and a bow tie, whatever. And there were some really cool regulars there because now, by the way, this Playboy club was in Des Moines, Iowa. Okay, that's when Playboy decided that they were going to expand their Playboy club line and have clubs in various places. And actually, we had a pretty good, some pretty good music groups come through there. Like they'd have a band booked for like a week at a time or 2 weeks at a time. And there were a couple really good ones that I really enjoyed. But yeah, I worked at a Playboy club as a bartender. Hello, Scribe. What up, Scribe Light? I see you, brother. Nice to have you here. Dog Thrapple. And TC's in the house too. What up, guys? Okay, so and also Ty Alexander with the daily woo, Ric Flair, of course, and Mike Savage with the Let Us Go right there, as he always does. And then who else? Other people pre-posting, JB and Ty Alexander, and link in description, AK Somnambul Nation, TC with the little posting there, and Let's Go from JB. Looking like, oh, that's not pleasant. This is looking like Torah shit to me. Anyway, by the way, I got a question. And this will aid you. Anyone here besides me remember seeing the movie Torah in a movie theater? Anybody? Because I saw it in a movie theater. My parents, I don't think I must have been like 5 years old, maybe 6 when that movie came out. And my parents took us to the movie theater to go see it. And it was at the Orpheum Theater in Omaha. No, not the Orpheum. Indian Hills Theater in Omaha, which is, there's like 2 theaters there are 3 theaters like it in the whole country. There's one in Omaha, one in St. Louis Park, one in Los Angeles. And it was this theater that the screens were wider than normal. It was almost like a what do they call those IMAX theaters, but it was instead of being tall, it was wide, and they did special formatting to make the movie wider, and it kind of curved, so it kind of came around you a little bit. And that's where I saw Torah. It's where I saw Jaws. It's where I saw Star Wars. It's where I saw Close Encounters of the Third Kind, E.T., all these movies I saw in that theater because it was really great. Plus, they had really comfortable seats and they kind of leaned back and stuff. It was a great theater to watch movies in. But anyway, yeah, probably nobody else saw Torah in a movie theater. I saw it, but not in a theater. Okay, see, I saw it in the theater when it came out. All right, enough about that. Anyway, thanks for people sharing the show. Also, Tyler also sharing the stream. So there you go. Thanks, guys, for doing that. Appreciate it. If you haven't done it, do it now. I'm going to take away the link in the top of the chat, though, because it's just in the way. Unpin that. All right. And then, let's see. Oh, and the holiday. Today's holiday. Today's special holiday is the International Day of Remembrance. Now, this woman says it's International Day of Remembrance and tribute to the victims of terrorism. They say the cost of peace is pricey, but when you remove the pride of men, you will realize that war will always cost more. So let me see I want to hear her message, though. This is her name's Antoinette. Let's hear her message on International Day of Remembrance.
When I was 14 years old,
it has music. I can't do it. I'll make a separate one because I forgot it had music and I didn't think about that. So I'll just make a separate link for that for you guys if you want to go listen to her message. It's a pretty good message though. But anyway, here today is International Day of Remembrance and a tribute to victims of terrorism. Today and every day we may keep the victims and survivors of terrorism in our hearts and prayers and work together to stop extremism worldwide. Good message. So other holidays today, National Senior Citizens Day, so you can salute me now. Yeah. It's kind of weird because I don't consider myself a senior citizen, but I'm old enough to order off the senior menu at Denny's. And I'm like, well, am I really a senior? My hips feel like it. Anyway, also wait a minute. Internet Self-Care Day. What the fuck does that mean? What does that mean? Take some time for yourself and practice self-care. Today is Internet Self-Care Day. Unplug from your devices and reconnect with yourself. Isn't that a contradictory statement? If it's Internet Self-Care Day, it sounds like something you do on the internet. But this says disconnect and whatever. And National Brazilian Blowout Day. I am not going to comment. Whatever the hell that means. Good morning, Annalyn. What's up? Nice to see you. Somebody else came in here. Okay, we're good. All right, moving on. The celebrity birthday today. Now, if you listen to the music prior to my show during the countdown, or the music my new intro music, okay, you'll understand that this person was instrumental, pun intended, in making that happen. Yes, today would have been the 109th birthday of no one else but Mr. Leo Fender. Known for the Fender guitars, the Fender bass, remembering the founding father, Leo Fender. I'll tell you what, these guitars and basses that all these guys play. In fact, there's Neil Schon from Journey playing a Fender guitar. In fact, he made his first guitar in 1948, or made it in 1948. Just the pioneer of the electric guitar and electric bass. So. In fact, here it is. Happy birthday, Leo, the father of the electric bass, Mr. Leo Fender. Let there be bass. So happy birthday, Leo Fender. There's some others ones, but this is the one I liked, so this is the one I chose for today. Okay, what is this tab for? I don't know. Oh, I was going to move something. I'm not going to do it now. Also, though, this is interesting. And you may or may not be familiar. Rockhopper, what's up? Rockhopper's in the house. My friend from down under. Also, Resolute Germ is here. Hello, what up? Now you may or may not know who this guy is, but he passed away yesterday. I was actually very sad when I heard this, because I've been seeing this guy on the internet for about 10 years, and he's just an interesting fellow. Judge Frank Caprio passed away. Judge Frank Caprio, the Rhode Island municipal judge, celebrated for his compassionate rulings on Caught in Providence, which is a show about his judge, his courtroom. Passed away on August 20th, 2025, at 88 years old after a battle with pancreatic cancer. Known as the nicest judge in the world, his empathetic decisions, like covering fines for a Vietnam veteran, inspired millions globally through viral videos, and his book on compassionate justice. Tributes highlight his legacy of blending humor, empathy, and fairness in the courtroom, leaving a profound impact on society. And if you don't know who this is, I highly recommend just go finding some videos of him. One of his most famous videos that I remember, maybe one of the first ones I saw of him, there was a guy in his courtroom who was getting a ticket for speeding. Okay, and the guy had to be almost 80 years old. This old guy was getting a ticket for speeding, and he came to judge just asked for them to dismiss it, and the reason he was speeding is because he was taking his 101-year-old father to a doctor's appointment, and they were late. And so the exchange was so nice, and the judge was like, interested in the guy, and just said, hey, maybe we can just slow down for next time, whatever. They dismissed the case. But Judge Caprio, just a fun guy to watch. And like I said, if you haven't, he died at 88, must be a white supremacist. No, you didn't say that. Oh gosh, in the 14th season of his show. No, anyway, Judge Caprio, if you watch videos of him in his courtroom, you cannot help but smile. He's a very good guy, and he'll be missed on the internet and so on and so forth. So there you go. All right, moving on. Let's talk about the controversy of the day. And I get it because corporate culture has changed and has been changing and sometimes forced to change, and there's stupid things they do, whatever. But this really, I was surprised how many people were talking about this. And there's a perception of this particular place that I think is unfounded, but for whatever, because of the name and the theme of it, that it just, some people look at this company with a side eye already, and that's Cracker Barrel. Cracker Barrel has gotten a really big backlash, not over only of the changing the design of their logo, but also they're remodeling their restaurants. And it's interesting. Here it is. Yesterday, Cracker Barrel Old Country Store under CEO Julie Feist Massino unveiled its first logo redesign in 48 years. They've had the same logo for 48 years. Their food is awful. Bite your tongue. We have a Cracker Barrel here, and we tried it. They have some really good pancakes. Hi, Mike has bad knees. Mike, their previous logo has both a cracker and a barrel. I don't understand the change. You get all the sound effects. All right. So aimed at blending tradition with modern appeal. What's the modern appeal with that logo? And why? That's Cracker Barrel supposed to be like an old country store. That's the theme of Cracker Barrel. But anyway, let me go on here because now even I'm getting emotional about it. The change includes store remodels and many new menu items backed by a $700 million investment. Well, damn, they must be expecting Cracker Barrel to hang on there. Hello, Rick Ashbringer. However, the overhaul has triggered some intense backlash on social media, with critics like Donald Trump Jr. decrying it as woke and calling for boycotts, potentially threatening the brand's nostalgic image, which that's kind of what they were about. So anyway, first let's talk about the logo. There's the logo, okay, the old logo that's been around for 48 years. And here's the new logo, which is really boring. It's really boring. And maybe it's just because they didn't like the, like you said, the cracker. And look, Cracker Barrel, old country store. That's what Cracker Barrel is. Oh, it's supposed to emulate an old country store. You walk through this old looking wooden panel looking like you're walking through a country store in, Murfreesboro, Tennessee in the 1950s in the rural part of Murfreesboro. So anyway, that's the new logo, which is, like I said, anyway. Now, and if someone says, now why would you remove the cracker and the barrel? That's what Mike said. Anyway, the whole appeal of Cracker Barrel is not modern. Exactly. And so here it is. Cracker Barrel CEO Julie Massino should face charges for this crime against humanity. So this is what the old Cracker Barrel interior looks like. It's kind of old wood and rustic with some, nice. Look, there's a boat motor up there and a wagon and all that stuff. Really country looking. And the remodels look like this. Some sterile, boring shit. Looks like you might as well be in a Denny's or a Waffle House. I mean, it's just changing that all up. Looks weird, but some of us old folks just all are up in our tradition and shit. So anyway, so people have been commenting on how, here's the person who made the original Cracker Barrel logo, and here's the new CEO in her how do you describe these glasses, folks? it looks too clean too, even though Cracker Barrels are very clean, but it looks too, and Evan S is in the house. Hi, Evan. So anyway, here's Julie, what's her name? Messina or whatever. And I haven't even played this clip, but let's see what this clip is that people are posting. They're posting her being, the woke broke type of person. Here's Julie Messina talking about Cracker Barrel on Good Morning America, of all places.
Honestly, the feedback's been overwhelmingly positive that people like what we're doing. I'll give you another soundbite. I actually happened to be in Orlando last week with all of our managers. We bring them together and once every other year. And the number one question that I got asked, Michael, was, how can I get a remodel? When can I get a remodel? How do I get on the list?
Oh, really?
So because the feedback and the buzz is so good, not only from our customers, but from our team members. They want to work in a wonderful restaurant. So we're doing everything for our guests and our team members.
Well, Julie Messina, it's wonderful to have you here.
Pleasure to be here.
Thank you for answering those questions for all the Cracker Barrel fans out there. There's a lot of great changes.
Thank you so much.
I got to tell you.
Robin?
Can I get in writing that the peg game is going to stay?
The peg game is staying. So are the rocking chairs. Third place.
There you go. It just sounds different when the brother says Cracker Barrel, though. I'm just saying. It sounds different when the brother says Cracker Barrel. So anyway, lots of people complaining on the top of that. Well, here, John Rich, the country singer, will you go to Cracker Barrel now that it's going woke? This could be a Bud Light moment in the making. Maybe. And Donald Trump Jr., what the F is wrong with Cracker Barrel? Cracker Barrel new logo isn't an accident. It's CEO Julie Feist Messina's project. She scrapped the beloved American aesthetic and replaced it with sterile, soulless branding. It is pretty soul. That is some boring shit. They could have come up with something. I mean, what's wrong with the country store theme? Anyway, Messina kept a DEI regime that promises to identify, recruit, and advance hires by race, and now faces civil rights complaints from America First Legal and the EEOC and the Tennessee Attorney General. She should resign and be replaced with leadership that will restore Cracker Barrel's tradition. Well, see, what are those glasses called? She's wearing those glasses. What do you call those? I mean, there's a name for it. Anyway. So people are very upset about this, and I've spent more than 5 minutes on it. Anyway, what did this guy do for doing it? It's like they took away Aunt Jemima, they took away Uncle Ben. Now they're taking away the cracker and the barrel. I'm just saying. But now it's interesting because Gunther here. This is Gunther Eagleman. I don't know what his real name is, but he's a right-wing internet person on X. And I was surprised that when he posted this video about this guy talking about Cracker Barrel, I don't think he realized this. This guy, well, I'm going to let you watch this, and I'll let you decide what the guy who made this video was intending here, okay? Because someone says, as a remodeled Cracker Barrel, at a remodeled Cracker Barrel, I hate it. Now, this guy made a video about this. Now, maybe Gunther didn't understand what this video was about, but it kind of has some double meaning in here. Listen to this.
Saw on the internet, dude said he ate in a remodeled Cracker Barrel, and he hated.
Now look how boring it is, though. You got some cutting boards and cups over here. It is boring as hell. I'm just saying. You might as well be in a Perkins or, even a Waffle House. Although Waffle House, I don't even know what they have in the walls in the Waffle House. But anyway, this guy, now I'm going to let you listen to this, and you can decide what this guy was actually doing.
Saw on the internet, dude said he ate in a remodeled Cracker Barrel, and he hated it. And I want to join in on the hate. If the Cracker Barrel don't look like the Jim Crow South, I can't eat there. You got to have the racism aesthetic. You got to have the rocking chairs and the hint of segregation in the air. If I don't feel like I'm on the set of Sinners, then how do I know I'm in a Cracker Barrel? This is a gentrified Cracker Barrel. They done took all the character out of it, and I know the edges of the pancake ain't burnt. I got to feel like somebody wants to say, "Good morning, boy," when I go in, with respect. And no respect at all. I feel like they want me to work there, but they don't want to pay me ever, and I've got to live there. That's Cracker Barrel's thing. If you take that away, what is it? A Denny's, a IHOP, a place I don't want to be at.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not sure what he really thought there. But to me, the Cracker Barrel, the point of it was an old country store that had some pretty decent pancakes. Now, I haven't eaten a whole lot of stuff at Cracker Barrel. I've only been there maybe 3 times my whole life, but I enjoyed it each time. I've never been there for dinner, only been there for breakfast. But yeah, he's trolling. Yes, exactly. That's what I thought. He's trolling. He's trolling. But it didn't have an aesthetic of what he was saying either. It just had an aesthetic of an old country store with old artifacts on the walls. But, TGI Fridays did that, and it did wonders for them when they're closing a lot of stores too. Anyway, removed the Land O'Lakes Indian, but kept the land, just like the government did. Yeah, exactly. Hello, GDSOB. What's up? All right, enough about Cracker Barrel. It was the main topic. I talked about it that long. Holy shit. Oh, wait a minute. I'm not even done. See, there's even an article here. Cracker Barrel, trash for dull new logo and woke turn. Now, I don't know what the woke turn is. I mean, clearly I don't know. Anyway, there's a whole article. I'm not even going through that. I'm done with that. Next. Oh, Bud Light's trending because of Cracker Barrel too, because people are like saying, oh yeah, just like Bud Light, go woke, go broke. Now what's funny here, though, someone posted this video. Back in 1998, Bud Light made a commercial about male cheerleaders, which I remember this commercial distinctly because I was a college cheerleader in college, and there was like the Baltimore. By the way, the Baltimore Ravens have had male cheerleaders for a while, but they're kind of traditional male cheerleaders, guys who with megaphones who yell a lot and throw stunts and shit. But anyway, here's Bud Light in 1998 talking about male cheerleaders.
Today we salute you, Mr. Male Football Cheerleader. Mr. Male Football Cheerleader. Real men don't just play smash mouth football. Real men turn cartwheels and somersaults on the sidelines, tucked safely away from the action. Don't touch me now. 4th down and inches. The game's on the line. It all comes down to you. Will you call for a perky pyramid or a peppy line dance? Get on my shoulders. Knock 'em back, all the way to Hackensack. So grab an ice-cold Bud Light, Mr. Male Football Cheerleader. You may never score a touchdown, but you're peppy. That's gotta count for something. Mr. Male Football Cheerleader. Bud Light beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
That shit ain't funny. That shit ain't funny. Go fuck yourself, Bud Light. Anyway, all right, moving on. Let's see what's next here. Okay, now we're kind of in the personalities section, and there'll be a few FTGs in here because it's Thursday. First of all, Bed Bath & Beyond was trending yesterday and today because they apparently are going to skip California in their store revival because, Bed Bath & Beyond had some problems there and was closed a lot of stores. Well, Bed Bath & Beyond, led by Executive Chairman Marcus Lemonis, announced the plans to reopen over 300 stores nationwide after its 2023 bankruptcy, but explicitly excluded California due to high taxes, regulatory burdens, and unsustainable wages. Lemonis framed the decision as an economic necessity, prompting a mocking response from none other than Governor Gavin Newsom, who defended California's economic strengths. The spat fueled social media debates, blah, 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 blah. So the chairman of Bed Bath & Beyond announced they will not open any retail stores in California because of high taxes, high fees, and forced unsustainable wages. To which Gavin Newsom replied, the company that already went bankrupt and closed every store across the country 2 years ago? Okay. Now, look, if they're reopening 300 stores, they must be doing something right in their reorganization. But anyway, now down here, Texas is America's #1 job creator. In Texas, we provide freedom and opportunity that can't be found anywhere else. When Texas businesses are free to succeed, Texans thrive. And then he put some article there to which and Abbott's argue with everybody on the internet. So anyway, and here's somebody. then his press office, which is the Trump trolling office, basically. After their bankruptcy and closure of every store, like most Americans, we thought Bed Bath & Beyond no longer existed. We wish them well in their efforts to become relevant again as they try to open a second store. Well, they're opening 300, dude, so whatever. And the fact that they're not going to, they basically made a specific statement. Here's their statement about not opening in California. As soon as my computer decides to work. There we go. It says, statement from Mark Lemonis, executive chairman of the Bed Bath & Beyond. We will not open or operate retail stores in California. The decision isn't about politics. It's about reality. California has created one of the most overregulated, expensive, and risky environments for businesses in America. It's a system that makes it harder to employ people, harder to keep doors open, harder to deliver value to customers. The result, higher taxes, higher fees, higher wages. Many businesses simply cannot sustain, and endless regulations that strangle growth. Even when the state announces a budget surplus, it's built in the backs of ordinary citizens who are paying too much and businesses who are squeezed until they break. At Bed Bath & Beyond, our responsibility is to our customers and our shareholders. We will not participate in a system that undermines both. Instead, we are investing in a California strategy that works. 24 to 48-hour delivery, and in many cases, same-day service. Californians will continue to get the products they love through bedbathandbeyond.com, but without the inflated costs created by an unsustainable model. We're taking a stand because it's time for common sense. Businesses deserve a chance to succeed, blah, 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 blah. To which I say, do what you need to do, guys. Everybody could do what you need to do. And there you go. All right. Enough about that. Moving on. What else is going on? Oh, by the way, we get an FTG for Gavin Newsom just because. I don't think we're done talking about him, but let's just get that out of the way. Now, a couple things I saw on the internet today. Wolf Blitzer. Y'all. Does anyone remember who that is? Wolf Blitzer? Is he even on CNN anymore? I don't know. Wolf Blitzer posted this little thing here this morning, where he said, this is what I saw when I drove by Washington, D.C.'s Union Station this morning. He saw one of these military, whatever the hell that vehicle's called, and a couple guys hanging around. I don't know what was underneath. What was under here, though? Is this thing leaking oil and they got a drip pan? Whatever. So he posted this. And, basically, I guess he's complaining about a military occupation of Washington, D.C. It's funny because some people are calling it the federal takeover of Washington, D.C. Hey, dummies, do you know that Washington, D.C. is already run by the federal government, even though it has a mayor? So anyway, people responded to that. Listen to some of the replies to that. But you can go ahead and FTG Wolf Blitzer. Here is Wolf Blitzer. Sounds like a code name for an SS assassin. It kind of does. So people complain, like this guy, El Super Mexican, says, I wish they had this in Los Angeles, Union Station. Beautiful place you can't see because of the homeless crackheads. Now, that is a pretty common response, but as I scrolled down, there is somebody who showed what Union Square normally looks like when there is no military vehicle there, and that's this. And in fact, there's a side-by-side as you scroll down. Where is it? Here it is. Yeah, Union Station before Trump and Union Station after Trump. So, you can take your pick of what's going to be there, the homeless tents or some guys there in military gear keeping the homeless, maybe keeping the homeless sheltered. Hello, Willie. What's up? Willie is in the chat. So anyway, lots of people responded to Wolf Blitzer. I just thought that was an interesting one. Or this is even better. Would you prefer this, Wolf Blitzer? Would you rather have it look like this? Anyway, all right. So there you go. Wolf Blitzer, FTG Wolf Blitzer. Also, Jessica Tarloff is trending. Now she's the token liberal on Fox's. Is the 5 or what is it? Show she's on. Whatever she's on Fox. She's the token liberal that they have around there now. Alan Combs has been long gone, so now they have Jessica Tarloff. And she also was complaining about what was going on in D.C. And she had posted this on X, the app formerly known as Twitter, where she says, because they have the police working or whatever, this doesn't make DC safer. It'll just make people not come to DC. The cruelty is always the point. Now, what she's referring to is the post by Amy Cho, where she says, breaking. Just saw DC police and federal agents detain a man on the National Mall. He appeared to try to escape, then was quickly tackled to the ground by several agents, was screaming in Spanish, "Please, I am not a criminal. I work here. I want to be with my family." And that's according to NBC Washington. Now, I think there's more to the story because some people are saying the person that they captured apparently was an illegal alien who was wanted for those crimes. Those crimes. PDF files, crimes. Now I'm not 100% sure, but apparently breaking in a maniac fit, Jessica Tarlov just deleted the post where she was defending an illegal alien child abuser. Why? We can't let her memory hold this. Share this far and wide. Jessica Tarlov. Let Jessica Tarlov know that we will never forget. So I'm not sure if that's the case, but people are saying this since the deleted post. When Jessica Tarlov posted this since deleted tweet, she knew nothing about the situation beyond the bare fact that DC police had detained someone. She tweeted anyway, fully aware that information was incomplete. The possibility that later details could make her initial take look bad was always there, and yet she sent it anyway. Why Fox keeps someone so reflexive and emotional on air, or why anyone watches that kind of show, is beyond comprehension. Now, and I don't know the details, but apparently the person they detained did some heinous things to children. So there you go. I didn't know he was. The DHS memo on him came out hours after the video. Wouldn't ever defend such a person. Hopefully you guys will only go after these types versus hardworking folks that have committed no crimes. We'll delete my original tweet. So she apparently got more information and ended up deleting the tweet because she was a little quick on the draw there. All right, next, Tina Peters. So Tina Peters is the Colorado official who blew the whistle on some shenanigans going on in Colorado election laws and whatever, and they threw her in jail. Here's a synopsis from Donald Trump, and he's mad. He wants this woman released from jail. Radical left Colorado Attorney General Phil Weiser ignores illegal committing violent crimes like ARP and murder in his state, and instead jailed Tina Peters, a 69-year-old Gold Star mother who worked to expose document Democrat alleged fraud. Tina is an innocent political prisoner being horribly and unjustly punished in the form of cruel and unusual punishment. This is a communist persecution by the radical left Democrats to cover up their election crimes and misdeeds in 2020. The same Democratic Party that flies to El Salvador to try to free an MS-13 terrorist is cruelly imprisoning, perhaps for life, a grandmother whose brave and heroic son gave his life for America. Colorado must end this unjust incarceration of an innocent American. I have hereby directed the Department of Justice to take all necessary action to help secure the release of this hostage being held in a Colorado prison by the Democrats for political reasons. Free Tina Peters now. Now, General Mike Flynn posted this about this. Tina Peters is currently being held in a state facility in Colorado, but she possesses critical information as potential federal witness in the current investigation ongoing into the stolen 2020 election. Federal authorities, including Pam Bondi, in order to secure her critical testimony, must immediately move to have Tina released into federal custody. Additionally, a thorough investigation should be conducted into the judge who sentenced her to determine whether her imprisonment was proper or influenced by bias. Transparency and accountability are essential for justice to be served. Yeah, she was the whistleblower, basically. Jen Griswold removed President Trump from the ballot and leaked the password to the voting system. Tina Peters blew the whistle on Democrat cheating. Griswold is on TV and Peters is in prison. So much wrong in Colorado. So that's why she's trending. You can follow that story. I'd highly recommend it. Moving on, Chip Roy is trending. Apparently Chip Roy is going to run for the Attorney General of Texas, which has gotten mixed reviews. Now, I think Chip Roy's a pretty good dude, but people are saying that Chip Roy stood against President Trump. He called the president to be impeached. Chip Roy called Ken Paxton to resign when he was innocent. Chip Roy stood against the January 6ers to keep Liz Cheney, and he called MAGA fuckers. Well, hell freezes over should Texas elect this guy. So some people are mad because he's not, he's not all that. He's not super MAGA. Now, Texas AG race having burned his bridges with the House Republican caucus, and President Trump, Chip Roy is now running for the Texas Attorney General. Roy was essentially fired from the AG's office before he went to Congress, where he supported the impeachment of Trump. We can't trust Roy to support the president's agenda, much less the interest of Texans. It's time for Roy to retire. So, yeah, some people aren't excited about Chip Roy. Does he deserve an FTG for that or not? You tell me. So, Chip Roy looking for election fraudsters. Let's see. This guy says, I worked for Chip Roy for 5 years. There's no better man to defend Texans, our uniquely Texan way of life, and ensure the rule of law across the state. Let's roll. Okay, well, some people like him, and some people don't. So sometimes you feel like a nut. Sometimes you don't. Next. Now, I haven't watched this. Apparently, Tucker Carlson had an interview with a gentleman named David Collum. And he told Tucker Carlson that if the contents of Anthony Weiner's laptop, remember Anthony Weiner, former husband of Huma Abedin, she's now married to, what's Sorrow's little fuck nut son name? Anyway, he's married to him. FTG Chip Roy. Okay. Hello, selected boy, by the way.
Yeah, boy.
So remember there was a big thing about Anthony Weiner's laptop that the classified information that Hillary Clinton somehow miraculously ended up on his laptop along with his dick pics and unacceptable correspondence with young teenage girls. So anyway, McCollum says that the laptop, if the contents of the laptop were exposed, it would collapse the entire U.S. government. He claims the laptop was rigged with kill switches and contained material so horrific that 9 officers who viewed it kept leaving the room unable to handle what they saw. I'm wondering what the hell did he have on that laptop? Here's him saying this out loud.
Weiner's laptop had kill switches in it. It was filled with crap that wasn't supposed to be there. We never get to see it. Supposedly 9 cops watched the videos on Weiner's laptop. They had to keep leaving the room because they couldn't stand what they were seeing. And all 9 are now dead. And there's names and faces and deadness.
Whoa, wait. I didn't watch this before I posted. All 9 of them are dead? What year was that? All 9 are dead. Oh, Lord. Holy Clintonicide. Or Arkanside. What do you call it? Arkanside? Some people call it, well, I don't know what some people call it. All I know is that 9 of them are dead. Holy crap. Let me fix this here. All right. Yeah, that's wild. Oh, what did I do there? Oh, it doesn't matter. All right. Now there's a second clip here. Is it the same clip? Here's the clip of McCollum saying, oh, this is the same clip. So anyway, the Weiner laptop, almost certainly not a single nuclear device that would collapse the U.S. government if revealed. Wait, it's almost certainly not the single nuclear device that would collapse the U.S. government if revealed. That's a myth. That's myth making, but it does sit at the intersection of 3 uncomfortable truths. 1, the FBI intelligence agencies and intelligence agencies bury things when politically inconvenient. That's undeniable. We have seen it again and again. Epstein files, Hunter Biden's laptop, JFK files still redacted after 60 years. The Wiener laptop fits this exact pattern. Something seized, leaked in whispers, but never surfaced. That silence itself signals that there is something they didn't want public. Number 2, there's probably compromise tier material on it. Not necessarily supernatural horrors, but emails, communications, possibly files linking Clinton world, DNC, and foreign actors in ways that would have been politically devastating. The life insurance file rumor rings true because power players do not keep leveraged files. That doesn't mean it contains snuff-level atrocities, but politically lethal dirt, likely. 3, the myth eclipses the content. The very fact that the laptop is sealed, whispered about, and surrounded by all cops who saw it are dead rumors. Rumors? Or is that true? I've got to find out. Makes it more powerful than the actual files ever could be. The establishment knows this. They don't even have to reveal or deny. Ambiguity fuels both paranoia and control. The bottom line truth, the literal story, 9 cops dead, horrors beyond imagination, is almost certainly exaggerated or fabricated. Really? Maybe. It's possible. But the structural truth is that the laptop became a symbol of how deep corruption goes and how much gets buried. It's like a mirror. People project their darkest suspicions onto it because they know the system is lying elsewhere. If it were ever fully released, it wouldn't collapse the government, but it could collapse trust in certain figures and institutions, like the Clintons. Nobody trusts them anyway. Confirming what many already suspect, that the rot runs far deeper than we are told. Well, that's a pretty damn good summary right there. That's a pretty damn good summary. So, all right, there you go. What else I got? How much time do I got? Okay, I got time. Good, I'm good. Nord Stream. Remember the Nord Stream pipeline that's trending? Or that was trending. That got blown up. Nord Stream 2 for the Russians. Well, apparently they have arrested somebody. Now this says breaking news after Zelensky blamed Russia for the Nord Stream gas pipeline terrorist attack. A Ukrainian is arrested for it. If Zelensky approved this terror attack or terror track, will Starmer keep backing him and his rogue state? That's a good question. But some people are trying to blame the United States, which kind of would have seemed logical if the CIA did or whatever. But apparently they've arrested a Ukrainian. Now that article's in some other language that I can't fucking read. Oh, is that German? Oh yeah, it is German. There it is. Bundesschwarzschaft meldet Festnahme von ukrainischem Nord Stream Verdachtungszugang. That's as close as I'm going to be able to read that German. Shadows. So there you go. So anyway, yeah. So that's news. Moving on. And now Missouri is another state that's jumping into the redistricting race. Apparently the state of Missouri will now officially redraw their 2026 U.S. House maps in favor of Republicans. There will be a special session in the legislature soon. President Trump, the great state of Missouri, is now in. I'm not surprised. It's a great state with fabulous people. I won it all 3 times in a landslide. We're going to win midterms in Missouri again, bigger and better than ever before. Great news. Yet another state joins the fight. Texas, Florida, Missouri. Like I said, I'm personally not a fan of this. What the hell happened there? What the bloody hell? What is going on? Oh, I know it. What did I do? Good God. Let's try this. Does that work? I don't know. I'm just getting redder and redder now. Anyway, so yeah, like I said, when Texas started doing this and now California wants to do it, now the Missouri's going to do it. It's funny because some of these Democratic states, I don't know that they can gerrymander any more than they already do. But I don't know. It just seems like a weird thing for everyone to be doing at the same time. All right, I got a couple articles. Oh, speaking of gerrymandering, apparently, so this is in the Washington Free Beacon. How long is this video?
California leaders.
It's only a minute long. Let's watch this. This is California Dems can't stop calling their gerrymandered maps transparent, but won't say who drew them. So let's see what this is about.
Are plowing ahead with an effort to redraw the state's congressional districts to send more Democrats to the U.S. House of Representatives.
When will the maps be released to give the public ample time to at least review them?
Bottom line, it's going to be in their ballot box. It's going to be on their ballot. So it's about as transparent as it gets. We'll do it in a transparent way by putting the maps
transparent.
Up and make them available. And we're going to do it in a transparent way, a temporary way, because we believe in independence.
I'm mad they put music on this.
That will be done in a transparent way.
Transparent. Oh, wait, hold on. Sorry. I have failed you. So for the rest of this video, I will fix my failure to you. Let's see if you notice the difference.
Temporary, transparent maps. We're going to do it in the most transparent way.
If there is another state with a more transparent process where voters will get the ultimate say in these new maps, please let me know what it is.
Who exactly is responsible for the maps? Who do we tell California voters drew these?
Well, so the maps have been posted on our website since 8 o'clock yesterday.
My question is, who is responsible for the maps?
I mean, I think it was a collaboration.
Yeah, there were several people involved.
Who specifically?
I don't have the full list right here with me, but these maps are transparent.
Who drew the maps? It's a very simple question. Names, preferably.
Assembly did.
Okay, I'm in the assembly and I did not draw these maps.
Who drew the
We're
maps?
taking this into very high consideration.
Who drew
when
the
those
maps?
were drawn.
Don't they deserve to know?
Transparent.
This is the most transparent process.
So then who drew the maps?
This is the most transparent process.
This is transparency that we don't get to know who drew the maps.
The legislature drew the maps.
When you are presented with something, don't you want to know where it's coming from? Don't voters deserve to know?
When I go to a restaurant, I don't need to meet the chef. I just enjoy the food.
Oh, but if someone asks you who the chef is, they would say, "Oh, he's right here. Let me introduce you to him." What the fuck did that mean? What the hell did that mean? Anyway, top California legislators are touting their transparent process to gerrymander the state's congressional maps while refusing to say who's responsible for drawing it. So you saw the whole video there. I don't need to play it. PJ Media. Oh shoot, sorry. Mass scandal threatens to unravel. But there is another scandal in California that threatens to unravel Newsom's gerrymandering power grab. A group of California legislators is calling for the feds to step in after credible allegations that Governor Gavin Newsom and his allies are orchestrating a brazen scheme to gerrymander California congressional districts. Well, we know that they're going to do that. That's what they said they're going to do. As we previously reported here at PJ Media, Newsom has been promising to fight back against Texas Republicans' controversial mid-cycle redistricting plan, which of course was done to offset Democrats' blatant gerrymandering in blue states, which has inflated their representation in Congress. The problem is that California's constitution flatly forbids mid-cycle redistricting, and the process for changing the system is no simple matter. This isn't against the law of California. Their own Supreme Court might shoot it down. Voters have already weighed in twice, in 2008 and 2010, to strip politicians of their gerrymandering toys and to hand the pen to an independent commission. But now, Newsom is bulldozing those safeguard voters established to boost his national profile before he runs for president. He plans to yank control away from the Citizens Redistricting Commission and back into the hands of his loyalist Democrats. Newsom looks less like a progressive reformer and more like a backroom operator addicted to power grabs. Oh my goodness. That's why Assembly members Carl DeMaio, James Gallagher, Leticia Castillo, Heath Hadwick, David Tangipa, and State Senators Tony Strickland and Maria Alvarado Gil just fired off a formal request to the Department of Justice. Their letter to Attorney General Pam Bondi calls on the DOJ to investigate corruption and violation of federal law tied to Newsom's redistricting scheme. But what's the scandal? Okay, so they wrote this letter. Here's the key part of the letter. We believe that the backroom dealings may rise to an unlawful level of bribery and vote trading. Oh, bribery! It's quite possible that federal laws could have been violated in the scheming surrounding these backroom deals over maps. Aside from possible criminal misconduct, we are also concerned with numerous potential violations of federal law related to the process of redistricting and the proposed maps being approved by the state legislature. Public confidence in the integrity of our state legislature is of paramount importance. As such, we ask that you review this matter and determine whether a federal investigation is warranted at that time. So, here's the alarming allegations of surface that may explain why state legislatures are proceeding forward with such a blatantly unconstitutional and politically unpopular proposal. Specifically, various media outlets are reporting that several members of the state legislature may have not only engaged in drawing the lines of these maps to benefit themselves politically, but may be providing their own vote for these proposals on the condition that the maps are drawn to benefit themselves. As just one example, KCRA reported that one powerful senator had one of the new targeted districts drawn specifically for him in exchange for his support for the redistricting plan. So, quid pro quo, something you don't hear that often anymore, but I'm sure someone will bring it up in some hearing against Trump. So anyway, they're dealing for their own to write their own district. Thank you, Avocados Diablo. You are the new Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day with the first donation of the day, a small bullet, aka $2.23, a 223, who says, technically speaking, something that is transparent is something you cannot see, since you see what is behind it. So yeah, this was a transparent process. Point well taken, and it's actually kind of funny. All right, there you go. All right, thank you, AD. I'm at that time. Let's see. Is there anything I have to say? Else I have to say today? The main Mandami. Let's just a couple headlines and we'll get out of here. This is in the Daily Caller. So there's a guy running for running for the United States Senate in Maine, and he's very, very left, so-called grassroots oyster farmer, has deep connections to far left. Graham Platner, an oyster farmer running as a Democrat in the Maine Senate primary, is being propped up as a grassroots candidate who can win over Trump supporters. His record tells a more complicated story. Look, I'm not even going to go into this. He's out there left, but he's still only running a primary for the Maine Senate on the Democratic side. So I'm not even worried about this guy yet. Who else? The Democrats got to worry about this guy. And if he wins the nomination, has to go up against Susan Collins, then I can start really giving a shit. But he's very Mandami-esque. Let's just put it that way. Keep it simple. In Breitbart study, Democrats losing registration race in all 30 states that track party affiliation. 4.5 million voters swing towards the GOP. That can't make Turnip Man happy. You know who Turnip Man is, right? Turnip Man has the charisma of a turnip. And the smarmy prick from New York can't be happy either. Also in Breitbart, the right-wing news rag, Representative Marlon Stutzen says Indiana is the next Republican redistricting battleground. Time for us to drop the gloves. So now they're talking about doing it in Indiana too? I tell you, I'm not a fan of this. And then the only other one that I opened, Trump's not going to erase history at the Smithsonian. He's reversing a destructive woke takeover. We were talking about how Trump was asking for kind of just to ask the Smithsonian, hey, Smithsonian, we're going to have our 250th anniversary coming up here next year. And right now, every one of your exhibits talks about how bad America is. Can we get some stuff that's also, some of the good stuff we've done up here? And people are losing their minds saying, you want to erase black history. You want to bury the legacy of slavery. You want to Oh, yeah, we forget about the blankets we gave the Indians, and you just want nothing but, patriotic bullshit. No, we just want you to chill out and maybe say that America did some good things too. But, they immediately accused Trump of racism and tried to erase Black history. So, because it's funny, because he's talking about the entire Smithsonian, right? The entire Smithsonian. And some people are saying they want to revamp just the African American History Museum. Motherfucker, did you not say here the entire Smithsonian? Anyway, that's all of that. All right, now I don't have anything else open, but there is, of course, the aggregator Ace of Spades blog, JJ Sefton's Morning Report, which I usually pull from generously because he finds a lot of great articles. So that's going to be in the links today. Also, is there anything else? I already got gas. I don't have to run that fast. That was a problem. There's some other people who shared the show, though. Let me recognize a few people here. Thank you, Swamp Fox Ghost. And all right, Tyler already did. Simon Wilkins, thank you for posting the show. Appreciate it. With a nice, this is a series on a retaining wall, it looks like. Mad, really? Plenty of dumb. Just stopped in to say hi and to share the stream. Okay, back to Miranda Monkey stream. Oh, Monkey was running while I was? That's okay. He's my brother from another mother. So there's a good old retaining wall with a pair of shoes and some gloves there. They must have been working hard. All right, Mark Smart, how you doing? Nice to have you here. Trump wants a museum to tell actual history. I'm shocked, I tell you. Yeah, right? I hear you. So, anyway, that's, I think that's it. Let me see here what I got here. All right, let me stop. My mouse didn't work. Good Lord. This thing's a pain in the ass. I'm going to check. Maybe I'll put a new battery in and see if that works. Come on. Holy shit. There we go. All right. Copy. Here's today's links. And that's it. I gotta go. Why didn't he ask Evans? What did I not ask Evan? They need to fess up about the giant skeletons. I'm not sure what that means either. There were no giant skeletons. Okay, now I'm lost. All right, guys, that's it. I gotta go. Thanks for joining me today. We'll see you tomorrow. Bring your questions. Friday Q&A. And that's it. You all have a wonderful day. My name's PDawgKnight, and I'm out of here. Bye-bye. Hey, this is PDawgKnight, and thanks for watching today on the PDawgKnight channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all the supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through Streamlabs, YouTube, Venmo, and Cashapp, which are all linked in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm PDawgKnight, and I'm out of here.